The following is a disclaimer. I gave humans too much credit and assumed that they had critical thinking abilities. I apologize for assuming. The perspective I take in these reviews are pragmatic and not simply regurgitated spec sheets that you could have Googled. You can't Google how a car drives, feels, and what sort of character it has. I don't care about 0 to 60 or specs. Neither of those things carry any merit with me. These reviews are intended for normal humans that may potentially be purchasing these cars with thousands of their own hard-earned money and drive on everyday roads with 45-mile-per-hour speed limits. It is best for fanboys to look elsewhere, as this is an objective review and will list both positives and negatives of this car. If you want a commercial, subscribe to the manufacturer's YouTube channel and watch all of their commercials. Finally, the vehicles featured on this channel are either from the manufacturers themselves or a dealership. Exhaustsports Auto is not paid by either party. These parties are used simply to get access to vehicles for video review. All right, well, welcome back to Exhaustsports Auto. My name is Kevin, and we are here to check out this 2004 Mercedes SL500 with only 31,000 miles on it. It is practically a brand new automobile. So who do we have to thank for this little opportunity? It is none other than Carry Imports. So if you're interested in this particular vehicle, all their information is down in the description box below. But honestly, just come here and just buy all the cars here, all the trucks, all of it. Just buy everything. So yeah, have fun with that. But no, in all seriousness, the main reason why I am reviewing this vehicle is because it's at Carry Imports and you can actually purchase a warranty with this thing. So definitely take advantage of that, because I certainly would. I would not buy this thing without a warranty, even if it only has 31,000 miles. We'll get to that in a bit. However, I want to talk about the looks of this bad boy. And I want to talk about what makes this car special, at least to me anyway. 2004 SL, dude, this thing was $88,000 when it was brand new. Like, that was the starting price of this thing. And, this thing's got a lot of pedigree behind it. For one, the original SL was a legend. It probably trades for like $50 million, something along those lines. But also TI rapped about it, silver SL on the block, you know what I'm saying? So obviously when TI raps about it, it's important. I hope, Theodore, you enjoyed that little reference there. But anyway, growing up, I love this car, dude. This car looks sensational. This has aged so freaking well. I absolutely love it, man. Especially in silver, you got to get it in silver, just like TI said, you got to get the silver, and it just looks astonishing. I mean, it just has not aged at all, and I really like it a lot because it looks like the SLR McLaren, you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that. That's another reason why I like it. But also, it is a hardtop convertible, and that's just sensational, because I hate cloth top convertibles. I like the metal roof ones, and SL means super light. This is definitely not super light. This is super heavy at 4,000 pounds. And 4,000 pounds, honestly, though, that's not too terrible. I mean, the SC430, which I have not driven yet because I just can't seem to get access to one, is about 3,800 pounds, and this is about 200 pounds heavier than that. But it's got a metal hard top, and I kind of forget. I don't mind it weighing 4,000 pounds. In fact, I always say that I should kind of like heavy curb weight vehicles, because they usually ride a lot better, because the chassis typically absorbs the bumps a lot better. Now let's get on to this handling, shall we? You make up your own mind about how this thing looks. So this thing, right, powered by a 5-liter V8 engine, produces 302 horsepower and about 339 pounds-feet of torque. I know 302 horsepower does not seem like a lot, especially for a vehicle that weighs 4,000 pounds. And you're right, it certainly is not, super quick or anything like that. But this thing pulls off something similar to what the LC500 does, the Lexus LC500 of today. This car is satisfying to drive at 45 miles per hour, the same way it is at more higher speeds. So, and obviously I'm driving with the top up to preserve the audio, of course. It's always fun to drive these cars with the top down. That's always a great sensation, of course. But I really wish I could have driven the SC430. I think I might get an opportunity tomorrow, and I'll try to make some comparisons then. But despite, whichever one's better, I mean, this just looks way cooler. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't look as dumb as the SC430. But anyway, it handles itself extremely well. There's a little ABC Sport mode, and that's the active body control. I'll switch that over in a little bit. But right now, obviously this car only has 31,000 miles on it, so it's going to be rock solid, of course. I can tell, however, I'll get to this in the interior segment, but I can tell that this car is not going to age the best. It's got some creaky, a little crunchy, you know, plastic buttons here and stuff like that, and some plastic bits here on the door, which probably won't age that well, but whatever. As of right now, as a pristine condition automobile, this is doing great. Steering feels extremely natural, you know, like you'd expect in some of these older model vehicles. Steering is great. All the inputs are natural and has an appropriate weight to it, and I do like the 4,000-pound curb weight that this vehicle has to offer, because it just feels like, you know what I'm saying, like it's digging into the tarmac, gives you a nice quality sensation to the vehicle. I like the way the steering loads up. You know, it feels kind of heavy and then kind of lightens up kind of. This is not a very large automobile, so it's just like, it's very satisfying to kind of, you know, just point this thing around. I mean, it kind of has like this large car appearance, but like it's really not. It's only like, what, like 179 inches long, something like that. So that's great. And no, this car is not super quick or anything like that. It's made to a 5-speed automatic transmission, which I do like the 5-speed because it's not that many gears for it to jump through, you know, like the freaking 10 speeds of today, right? Of course, there's a little bit of a delay when you, you know, floor it, but it's just like, you know, I still forgive it. It's fine for a 2004 model year automobile. Don't know what the hell that is coming from over there. It's not really a rattle. I think it's like that piece of paper that's in there inside of the glove box is kind of rattling over there. I do apologize for that. It's not the fault of the car. But yeah, over these really rough bumps, dude, this thing is so freaking comfortable. And that's the thing. This SL, it's basically a flagship product for Mercedes-Benz. You know, it's not like the S-Class, and it's not like the CL per se, because the CL, if you guys didn't know, it's pretty much like the original S-Class coupe. Because this car is so freaking heavy, it just kind of naturally comes down to a stop. So there's that. You don't really need to get on the brakes much. It just naturally kind of comes to a halt. But anyway, this thing is fitted with multi-link suspension on all 4 corners. The throttle is not really touchy. It's just this motor is very free revving, very eager to rev. I was kind of surprised by that, but it's got a nice progressive power figure, dude. Let me come to not really a stop, but give me some room here. Kind of punch it here. Actually, let me put this thing to the ABC and the, you know, turn off that traction control. I think it's one touch off, so. I'm going to test out more of that handling here in a bit. And once again, I do apologize for that little rattle. It's not the fault of the vehicle. But like, I'm going to test more of that handling. But over these like really trash bumps, this car is handling itself extremely well. It's something you wouldn't really, you know, expect out of this little petite little car. Are there little like rattles and stuff like that? Yes, there is, and it's not just that little piece of paper. I can feel little rattles all over this car, and it is what it is. I kind of expected that of an older model Benz. It's a little unfortunate because this car rides so well, but dude, the handling of this car is great. It is handling extremely neutral, actually. Even before when I pressed the ABC button, it was handling itself extremely well. Steering is great. You know, that's one of the best parts about these older model vehicles. Yeah, you know, something like this, you know, you can be proud of putting this thing on your driveway because it still looks great today, but also you get something like this with low mileage. It's about $17,000 at this dealership. That was a big bump. You just hear it, but it's just like, it's really well controlled. Yeah, there's kind of rattles all around here. It's only got 31,000 miles. That's the unfortunate thing with these Benzes. They just age like trash because it's so plasticky in here, and build quality is just not that great. That's the biggest sucky part about these Benz products that I don't like. Because otherwise, it's such a great vehicle. I mean, it's just like plush ride quality. You can do hella miles in this thing otherwise. Kind of come to a stop here. The brakes are definitely progressive. You have to kind of get in on the pedal there. But the stopping power is great. This V8 definitely sounds great, but it's definitely like more so on the muted side. Of course, got a nice big 4Runner in front of us here. Very neutral body for sure. Yeah, I think that ABC mode definitely made a difference for sure. Once again, come to a stop. Definitely a hesitation from the transmission. Yeah, I love driving this car. As a driving object, this is great. This is, you know, I've driven like the 2013 and 2007 S-Classes and stuff like that. Even the S-Class of this time, actually, like an 02 S-Class. And this definitely has a more dynamic feel to it, surprisingly. I know it's a coupe, but even still, for a car that rides this well, you just hear the bumps, but honestly, it does not translate at all into the interior cabin, which is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, something that rides this well and handles as well is definitely a testament to this thing. Very sharp. And I forgive the delay because the power plant is just so soothing to ring out, and it is just so satisfactory to kind of, you know, listen to it wind out there. That's what I like about this particular car. Yeah, there's like ridiculous AMG models and stuff like that you can get. However, the problem with those is just like, you know, out on the street here doing 45 miles per hour, this is far more satisfactory to ring out. It's a lot like the LC500, except the LC has more power than this, but it's just like, I like these naturally aspirated motors because you can kind of actually wind them out. Now, I will say there is some tire noise with this vehicle. That's something you can't really get away from. It's got 255 wide tires up front, 285s in the rear. So, you know, that staggered, you know, girthy tire setup, you can tell it's more focused for driving as opposed to that SC430, which is more of a plush kind of cruiser. But I definitely want to try out that vehicle. But yeah, summary of this drive. Of course, I love driving this car. It's pretty much what I expected it to be, of course. That active body control is fantastic. I do like that. You would be shocked at how well this thing handles. It's 4,000 pounds, especially for its time, you know what I'm saying? And the sizes are just perfect for you to kind of pinpoint this car around. So I do like the size of this car. And just the overall, it's got like that high quality demeanor that I like in my LC500, where it's just satisfactory even at just regular cruising speeds. Or you can kind of, you know, drive the piss out of it and it'll still be exciting as well in that regards. And it's just a great motor, of course. I'm super satisfied with this motor. I mean, yeah, 0 to 60 wise, it's about like what, 6 seconds or whatever, but you know, screw that. I like the power output of this vehicle. I think it's more than enough, especially for the streets, and it fits the characteristic of this car as well. And this is actually a port injected motor. I think I forgot to mention that. And 2008 is actually when they, you know, during the recession, of course, you know, that's when they actually upped the power output, or, you know, when they went to the SL550, that's when the thing made like 385 horsepower and increased amount of torque as well. So there's that. But yeah, negatives to the drive, like I mentioned, a bit of wind noise, which I can forgive. That's totally not bad at all, especially for like this hardtop convertible. That's pretty good. But also a little bit of tire noise. But again, that's also to be expected with such wide tire setup. So even that I don't mind. But it's just the creaky, crunchy little interior that this thing has. And aside from that little paper rattle over there, there's another rattle coming from up here, and also from this rear end as well. I mean, it's just such a plastic interior, so let's talk about it. So that's the only thing I don't like, and also the infotainment and the gauge cluster, right? The gauge cluster, there's like this, it's not pixelation, but it's kind of like washed out, like the little display inside, and saying visit the workshop, there's some type of like malfunction or something like that, of course, right? Yeah, that's why I definitely suggest you getting a warranty with these vehicles. And, you know, this is a pristine model. If you want this car, this is definitely the car to get. 31,000 miles, that's pretty nice. Well taken care of course, so that's pretty good. But it's just like, you know, again, get the warranty. Definitely spend that money. Right here, the whatever the hell this is called, the I forgot, control command, whatever the Mercedes infotainment was called during the time. It's kind of a little, it's not pixelated, but it's kind of bubbled and looks kind of stupid. It's just dumb and just kind of worthless. I would actually replace this whole thing with like a Pioneer or like a Kenwood or something like that. That's probably what I would do instead of dealing with this stupid thing. There's no double pane glass, like I mentioned, although that's kind of surprising for like an $88,000, you know, roadster, if you will. Again, a lot more, you know, creaky, crunchy plastic things, and, you know, with the HVAC, just kind of, you know, not the best material choices. But, and then they do some other great things, like, you know, like the soft touch, not leather, but it's similar to like the Lexus rubberized material, that soft touch material. That, along with this wood, is actually like, you know, nice, tightly put together. So there's like random bits of good build quality here and there, and then they put like this big plastic thing in the middle as well. So there's that. It's just like a mixture of things. You got memory seats, 3-way memory seats, and adjustability in the seats are great, and you can be relatively tall, I think, and fit in here. I can still put the seat down, actually. So yeah, you can be a very tall individual and still be able to fit in here. That's pretty good. The seat goes back a decent amount as well. So great adjustability in seats. And like I mentioned, the seats are extremely comfortable, and they've aged extremely well, of course, because it's only 31,000 miles. Again, certain things like this door panel at the, you know, the door handles and stuff like that. Feel of quality is pretty solid, actually. The way this wood is kind of implemented here, not bad at all. But again, I can totally foresee all this stuff creaking and rattling and not being that great in the future. You got heated and cooled seats, which is nice. Automatic headlights, physical parking brake, actually. Bose audio system. It sounds okay. It sounds decent. I mean, not as great as like the new stuff, of course, but you know, it's not bad. It gets the job done. You got a little ashtray, of course, because you know you're a pimp, and of course it's not like a push button start, or maybe it was, and maybe the button's missing. I don't know, but this one, yes, you have to, you know, do the thing. Anyway, the top actually comes off in 16 seconds, so that's pretty quick actually for a mechanical hardtop convertible. That is very quick, and it's, yeah, that's pretty great. Very good amount of storage space in the armrest. Usually Mercedes nails it with the amount of storage space that they give you even in these coupes, so that's nice. And also the glove box has a hell of a lot of things going on in there, and plenty of space to put your stuff there as well. Like I mentioned, I do like the steering wheel. That's aged perfectly. It's a great thing to kind of grip onto as well, so I appreciate that. And of course there's no rear seats, but you can kind of buckle down a few things, and you got your CD changer back there as well when you lift open the thing behind the driver's side, whatever. And you got your little books in the passenger side rear compartment as well. Trunk space isn't actually terrible, but like obviously it gets limited when you have the top down. Basically, it does actually impede the amount of storage space you have, but you can kind of press a button and then like you get a little bit more access to your space. And once the top is up, the space is actually pretty good, so I do like that. So it's actually like a decently practical car, but obviously no rear seats. You just have some storage there, and you can actually like buckle down a few things in the rear as well. So as a whole, what do I think about this car? Well, it's a nice car. It's a nice driving car. Bit of maintenance, bit of upkeep. This one's in pristine condition, but you know there's still a few little negligible things that you have to kind of, you know, deal with this vehicle. And as this car ages, I don't see it getting much better in terms of creaks and rattling. So if you're kind of a stickler for that whole thing, well, there you go. And also, I don't like how they put the unlock and lock buttons up here like a BMW. That pisses me off. Just put it right here. You know what I'm saying? Just stupid things like that. I hate it when they make everything so extra. You know what I'm saying? It just makes no sense. But anyway, the primary reason why you buy this car is because you like the way it looks. It's got a fantastic motor underneath, and also this hardtop convertible. You know what I'm saying? You got the best of both worlds. You got a coupe and you got a convertible. So it's always great fun driving a convertible car. It completely changes the characteristic of a car, and I'm sure it's the same thing here. But even with the top up, it's actually pretty damn quiet in here. You can totally daily drive this, and you're going to be shocked at how well this thing handles. So if you've always dreamt of this car, get it, but again, get it with a warranty. So hopefully you found value with this video. You know, if you have any more further questions about this car, please do leave it in the comment section below. And with that, thank you again. Watch the upcoming video on the end screen here, and I'll see you there.